Guys, Mike here, head trader, True Trading Group. May 8th was an awesome day. Really great day. Got some extension on my APRN swing trade that have been long since Friday, May 4th from $2.42. I took some profit off the table today at $2.85 for a 18% gain, but I'm still holding on to some of that position, looking for a little bit more out of this trade. So with this video, I'm going to walk you guys through. I only made 2 day trades today, both for winners, BLNK and AMDA. I'm going to go through both those trades with you, and then I'll get into. Actually, I'll start things off with the swing trade. If you watched my video from yesterday, please go back, rewatch the video. I go over my analysis and everything. And the setup on the APRN swing trade, but I'm going to go over this one more time with you. First, let me pan in. I'll show you guys where my entry was on APRN. Here was my entry on Friday at $2.42. Okay, as we pan out, I'll show you my first take profit was right here today at $2.85 for an 18% gain so far on the trade, but I still am holding on to some of this position. You can see we're trading a little bit higher here after market. Aftermarket high of 288, intraday high of 290. Right now sitting at 287. I'm looking for $3 on this trade. Let me take you to the daily chart, guys. I'll walk you through the trade setup here. So here's this $3 mark. This is my target. All right, I think we're going to overshoot it. I'm kind of expecting like this type of action, and then we'll put a tail in and then kind of pull back in. So I'm looking for one more day here on this APRN trade, and that's going to be my final target on the trade. Again, I'll walk you guys through this setup. Go back and watch my video from yesterday. I talked about the trade setup, but I'll go through it real quickly once again. Why I got long. Reverse head and shoulders pattern, guys, here on APRN, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Here was our neckline on the trade. You can see when we broke above that neckline with a nice volume increase on Friday, that's the day that I got long, looking for some continuation. We got some excellent continuation on the back of this reverse head and shoulders, heavy volume on the break. Textbook reverse head and shoulders pattern with that volume like that when you break the neckline. Absolutely textbook. Was really great. Really clean setup. The other thing I want you to notice is the 50-day. Okay, there's your resistance at the 50-day moving average. When we broke above it on May 3rd, you can see we closed above and then start to push away from it. We broke above the 50-day on very strong volume. That was the other thing that I liked about APRN, and then it gets down to bullish divergence in the MACD indicator. So here is your MACD. Okay, and you guys, again, you can notice. I say again, if you watch my video from yesterday, this is just a recap of the setup. Decreasing share price while we had increasing MACD value. Okay, this is considered a bullish divergence. When the share price is going down, but the MACD value is rising, that is bullish divergence. So we had bullish divergence in the MACD. We also had a zero line crossover on the MACD, which is a bullish sign. And then we had a signal line crossover back here, which was another bullish sign. So several bullish signs coming out of that MACD indicator for us. Another reason why I really liked the trade to the long side. And then let me now get to the RSI. And then again, bullish divergence on the RSI. Share price of APRN is decreasing. Meanwhile, the value of the RSI is actually increasing. So we had bullish divergence on the RSI, bullish divergence on the MACD. Broke through the 50-day moving average with heavy volume, and a textbook reverse head and shoulders pattern on this APRN. So there was a lot to like about this swing trade setup. There really was, and that's why I pulled the trigger, and now I'm getting paid for it. So that's the trade with APRN. Again, guys, I took some off at 285. I'll take you my trade announcements today. Here you guys see at 11:42 a.m. took some profit on APR swing trade, $2.85 for an 18% gain, still holding some. Okay, so there was my first take profit on that APRN swing trade, and now let me get into my AMDA trade and my BLNK trade. All right, here we go on BLNK. This BLNK was a tricky one today. It was real strong in the morning, then got really weak, traded sideways, then exploded into the close. Definitely going to watch this BLNK for some continuation tomorrow with the way that it closed. I did not trade it in the afternoon though. My trade was placed in the morning, and I'll pull this in to show you guys my trade. So BLNK was on my watch list today, gapping above yesterday's high. Okay, I said in our pre-market game plan when I was talking to all of our members in chat that I wanted to watch to see does BLNK find support at the previous day's high. Okay, once we got the pull in right off the open, we established support right at that previous day's high, and as we broke above and broke through VWAP, right here is when I got long BLNK. Take it to my trade announcements. Here we guys go at 951, long BLNK at 510, stop loss 490. So I was able to keep a real nice tight stop on this play because of the entry here breaking above VWAP, and if we got back below 5, that would mean that the VWAP trade had failed and we're going to pull back and break down below that previous low. So there was my initial entry. As soon as I entered 510, we immediately spiked all the way up through new high of the day. I took some profit off quickly here at $6. Okay, so 90 cents a share. Was able to take some profit off there at $6 very quickly. It was only a minute later. Again, you know, my trades usually last longer than that, but I was surprised at how quickly the stock popped as soon as I entered the trade there at 510. So I immediately took some off, and then we pulled back in down once we broke below the previous high. I was looking for this previous high to now hold support. My game plan here was for this to hold support, okay, and then see if we got like a TTG triangle pattern form here inside this triangle, and then look for a breakout of that triangle and then some continuation. That's what I was playing this trade for. We didn't get it. That support level did not hold. We ended up breaking down below it, and I sold out of my position right here at 525. You guys can see sold out remaining BLNK at 525. Okay. So we did not get that follow through and that continuation that I was looking for in the morning. Off of that trade setup, we got the nice strong increase in volume when we broke above the high of the day. Look for that previous high to hold support. It didn't. We break below it, and I sold out of the rest of my position. And then BLNK ended up rallying later in the afternoon. Okay, so kind of a little bit of a short squeeze type action late in the afternoon. So we have to keep that on watch for continuation tomorrow. AMDA, this is a great lesson I'm going to go over with you because this trade setup can really help you understand the importance of how to use the intraday chart and the daily chart in unison to identify good trade setups. Watch for and always pay close attention to bull flags and bullish wedge patterns that form directly above a prior resistance level on the daily chart. That's exactly what happened in AMDA. That's why I got long mixed in with a couple other support indicators and was able to catch a really nice move in AMDA. I'm going to go over that with that setup with you now. So this is a pretty good lesson. So here we are. We have this AMDA. Let me zoom in. Okay, it pops up on my radar on this move right here. I did not get long in this move, but it popped up on my radar, my scanners, when we just had that big strong pop, a little bit of volume, broke through the high, and we were halted. So by the time I took a look at AMDA, we were halted in here. Okay, so the first thing I do is I go to the daily chart, I take a look, I say, okay, what do we got? All right, and I notice a pretty key level around this $1.95, $2 area. Okay, you can see previous support back here. Once we broke below it, you can see these tails, we started to put some resistance in right at that $1.95, $2 area. Okay, so right away I'm saying we're halted at a brand new high of the day. Okay, I'm going to look for that previous, this resistance level. If we can break through it, I think we have room on AMDA. This is that line. Let me delete that line. Okay, so as soon as trading resumes, it immediately shoots all the way up to 245. I still did not get long in that candle. Very strong volume right off the trade resumption. Very strong volume. Okay, so now I'm waiting for a pullback to see, do we hold at that $2 level? The low of this pullback is exactly $2. Okay, so now we've got that previous resistance level on the daily. So here, let me go back to the daily. There it is. There's your resistance level on the daily. You can see here previous support. Okay, now when I leave this line up there on the daily chart, and let's go to the intraday, look where it lines up. And you can see a real nice wedge pattern start to form on AMDA, directly on top of that prior resistance level on the daily that we just broke through on very strong volume. Okay, so we have just broken through that resistance. Now we're forming this wedge pattern. You also had VWAP coming into play there. But the other thing that I noticed was the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level lines up absolutely dead smack perfectly with that previous resistance level on the daily. So let's go back to the daily. There's that previous support level that was acting as resistance. We then broke through it on the intraday chart with real strong volume. Wedge pattern forms above it, and then you have the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level lines up with it as well. Beautiful, beautiful setup in AMDA. I got long right here, guys, at $2.21. Take to my trade announcements. Here we are, long AMDA at 221. Stop loss $2. Okay, here was my entry right here on this candle. A little bit more of a pullback, and then bang, we break up and out of that wedge again on real nice strong volume. And I started taking some profit off at 243, sold the bulk of my position at 275, and then I sold out of the rest of my position at 235 once we started to pull back in down on this through this candle is ended up where I ended up getting flat the rest of that position. But another really great trade. Okay, so a nice trade on that BLNK, a great trade on AMDA, and an excellent kind of extension move today on that APRN swing trade. So it was a really nice day for us in chat today. I'm still holding on to some of that APRN. Guys, go back, focus on this AMDA setup because it's a great example of how to use the intraday chart in unison with the daily chart to identify really great trade setups. That's exactly what happened today at AMDA. All right, great stuff today, guys. I'll see you in chat tomorrow morning. We'll do it all over again. Look to keep the momentum going. Take care, guys.